Yeah, I believe this is the second game that Quackpork's playing, and same with Zeb. The games played earlier today were against Quackpork and Blue, or FS Blue, and Zeb and FS Blue. They played their games earlier because Blue wasn't available to play this evening. Currently Blue has won both of those, so the only games left in this tier are against Quackpork and Zeb, as far as I know.
Okay, and does the loser get knocked out, or do they go to a lower bracket?
At the moment they're going to lower brackets for the losers. It's still just the seeding and whatnot to find out who's sitting where for their brackets and whatnot.
Nice, nice. We'll go to Protoss versus Protoss. He also Gnome Terran, so not really sure what to make of this, but I think we'll get there.
Oh yeah, I think we'll work something out. I'm pretty excited to see how this one goes actually, because I know Quackpork has been training Zeb and showing him how to play a lot of the game. So it's going to be pretty good. It's going to be like a master and student versing each other. I'm pretty excited to see how these turn out.
Yes. Okay, so we have the Zeb in the right side and Quackpork in the top. If I didn't introduce myself, I'm Bonik, and I am
Zomgrofl.
Yep, and I'm emergency casting for us, so I'm the backup guy. I'm not too crazy on the streaming, but I'll give it a go.
Hey, well at least your internet can stream. I'm kind of wishing I had internet that's able to stream.
Yeah, I just hope.
I guess that makes me the backup caster.
I just hope it doesn't cake out on the big fights or anything, but I've put it on a low resolution, lower than Corin's resolution, so
Yeah.
I'll check his stream and check my stream later and see if I've just got a shit computer or a shit internet connection that can't take it, or it'll be fine and everyone will be happy.
Well, I'm sure everybody will be happy. I mean, we're here to watch StarCraft, not oogle on graphics, I guess it is. Seeing pretty much identical builds from the two of them at the moment. I'm wondering if anyone's going to be going for early shenanigans, or if it's going to be a macro game with a bit of harassment at the start.
Well, they're taking their guess at the exact same time, so it looks like they're both going to be doing some one base pressure, or possibly just get enough units to support this natural.
Yeah. They're definitely showing that Quackpork's been teaching Zeb. Although Zeb has a quicker cyber core than Quack at the moment. So perhaps we might be seeing a quick expand from Quack. Or it's just been delayed. Looks like it was just delayed. It is usually murder to go Nexus first in a PvP, as we saw in Game 1 between Quackpork and Blue. It did not end very well for Blue. Quackpork was able to take that game with a quick 4 game.
Okay, yeah, and Protoss can scout fairly easily. They don't have to worry about sending a probe early, or I guess the same with Zerg.
Yeah. And then there's always that option of just chucking down a pile to be that kind of guy.
Indeed. So we've got Zeb clumping
Now,
up his pylons.
Quackpork actually denied Zeb the vision of how many gas he's been going. I'm not sure if Doc knows that or not, but that could actually be some pretty crucial things. With one of Duck's builds that he's been working on recently, a mass zealot build, Zeb really needed to know if Doc was pulling gas or not, if he's going there. Oh, we see a Twilight Council going down from Duck. I think we might be seeing some Blink play here. And a robotics core from Zeb. He's definitely going 3-gate Immortal or some sort of play like that. Things are going to be very interesting with.
Yep, mighty interesting. Both players 2 gassing off 1 base. No plans to expand at all, so yeah, this is gonna be a quick game.
It definitely will be. Quackpork could definitely use to spend his chronos a little bit. Get that warp gate out, get a few more pro.
Are you using push to talk?
Yeah, I am.
Just hold it down for a bit longer, because either there's a bit of lag, or I think you might be cutting yourself off at the ends.
Okay, my bad.
Oh,
Too
that's
easy to
much
fix
better.
that? Yeah. We have a probe hiding out in the bushes there for Quackpork.
And you're right about that
Will
blink.
Zeb scout that in time? Yep. Quackpork's going for blink now. He's definitely doing it. This could be a quick game.
Yeah,
Immortals do kill stalkers fairly easily, but if he can't hit a stalker to kill it, then he's not going to be very effective, especially if the stalker's all up in his grill.
yeah,
So you can see now that Quackpork wasn't playing poorly, he was actually saving his chronos for the blink. So I take back everything I said about that now.
well, looks like Zeb's in a world of trouble. He's playing basically for his force fields. He doesn't really have much army out at all. He's taken the 2 gas,
No.
everything. If he pops out a 3rd immortal, just maybe he'll be super safe. But it's going to come down to some micro.
Oh, but here we go. It's going to be a big fight. Quackpork needs to jump up in there and focus down those immortals before too much damage is done. Zeb has a lot of zealots here.
On that immortal.
There was just too much. That immortal's gone down though, and that's a costly attack there. But will Quackpork have enough to follow this up with?
Yeah, that was just very unfortunate. That push was really weak. It was about 7 minutes 30, and all he could pump out was about 6 stalkers. At that point in time, Zed had like 5 stalkers, sentry, and a couple immortals. So something definitely went wrong with that.
It was just
play.
pure victory by numbers then. I'm not sure what went wrong there, but Quackpork's going to have to sit back here and build up some sort of defense. Otherwise he'll be looking in a bit of trouble. Although Zeb might actually just be turtling up here and do a normal Protoss play of, I'm in my base, come at me bro. Because he's already taken his expansion. And Quackpork knows none of this.
Yeah, I don't know what
Zeb's getting that
thinking
crucial
there.
scouting.
Maybe if he hit with 12 to 15 stalkers at that time, but he just had a timing and he didn't execute that very well at all.
I think he would have benefited from waiting a bit longer, I agree. Pumping up there with a few more extra stalkers would have been able to do a lot more damage. This does look like it's going to go into a macro game. If Quackpork actually starts building his second base. I know Quackpork is very strong in a macro game. He likes to force as many games as he can to macro, because he'll just win. Eventually he'll just win. He'll wear down his enemy. He's done it multiple times. It's very effective.
Well, we got a Robo Bay coming up for Zeb, so he might be pumping out Colossus's Colossi pretty soon.
Well, it will be coming down to a war of who has the most Colossi soon, and with that head start on his numbers with Zeb, it's not looking very good for Quackpork. Especially since he still has not taken his expansion. He needs to start looking at doing that soon, getting some scouting information on what his enemy's doing.
And look at Quack's worker pile. He's just oversaturated. He should know that he really needs to move out.
Yeah, Quackpork has 38 probes on one base. He does have more probes than Zeb, but he is way too oversaturated. He needs to take that expansion. Will he kill this observer? Nope, looks like it's going to get away.
That observer.
We
can
did have a
just stay
war
there
prism
like an
coming from
overlord.
Doc though.
War Prism, yeah. Where, if I can find it.
It's only coming out of the Robo Bay now. Or Robo facilities. But Quackpork's throwing down his Robo Bay at the moment. So it looks like he's going to want to start getting Colossi. More than likely because he's scouted his opponent now. He does not know about the Robotics Bay though. Will he see that? That's the crucial thing we need to know. If he doesn't see that, it's going to get very awkward for him. He's just spotted it then. Both players sort of sitting here turtling at the moment. It's not too surprising, but it could be better.
Oh, Quackpork decides to take a third as well. This is a bit
Going
dangerous.
for a quick third.
But he's actually...
It is dangerous, but he's...
Yeah, it's actually not as dangerous as it should be because Zeb is only on 34 workers. He's got more bases than Quackpork, but with less workers. He's really going to need to focus on...
Yeah, if Quackpork's able to get this next base, he'll be looking way better than Zeb.
Yeah.
I am seeing a disappointing lack of upgrades from both these players. I'd like to see some 1-1s being worked on. But I believe at the moment it's just a very large standoff of, I've been teaching you how to kill me, and you've been learning how to kill me. I don't want that to happen, so I'm just going to sit here and wait to see what you do. And Zeb's sitting there like, you've been teaching me, and I don't want to go at you, so I'm just going to sit here and wait for your next move. And it's not really... I don't know how it's going for either of them yet.
Well, by looking at the armies, I'd say it's about equal, which really shouldn't be the case. Zeb should have just won.
No.
But,
yeah, Zeb was in a very good position, but...
I think he's too scared to attack his Sifu.
Definitely. I mean, like what I said before, if Duck can take it to a macro game, he's going to punish you very hard. And this is exactly what Duck would be looking for to draw this out to a macro. Is Zeb going to be able to scout this third, though? It's going to be a fight between the Zealots down at Zelnaga Tower. We've got a Shiv fight going down here. Zeb's got the first attack off, so it looks like Duck Zealot's going to go down. This is an amazing fight. Duck has won it. He owns the Zelnaga Tower. And with the floating shark cheering, because he's captive in that area once again. I'm not really sure where I was going with that, but you gotta love that shark. Look at him, swimming around.
Yeah.
Sort of like a little bubbles popping out of him. He's good.
Yeah, Quackpork just finishing his extra gates, morphing them into the normal warp gates, not the closed warp gates. I don't even know what they're called.
Warping him into warp gates, I believe, is the end term there.
Oh, there we go. Gateway.
Although we've got Zeb here now starting his 1-1.
Yeah, better late
This is going to put him at a massive advantage. Especially if he spends some of that chrono to get them out. His Nexuses are stockpiling that. And I don't think he's saving it for his fast blink this time.
Yeah, he really should be doing some scouting, or at least poking the front, because he thinks he's ahead. That's
he has
why he's
no idea about that.
Yeah.
Yep. When in reality, I think Quackpork has actually come back from being behind, and if not even, it's starting to look pretty good.
Yeah,
but he needs to put down those upgrades.
And look at the Warp Prism, it's just been sitting there, and it's probably going to sit there until he notices Zeb moves out.
Yep.
Oh, actually,
if he did an assault now... Oh! Is he going to get some workers with some Zealots? He could be, has Zeb no... He has reacted, is pulling right away. You're going to want to be GTFOing right now. There we go. Will they get the Robo Bay? I don't think they will. Focusing down a Zealot at a time. You never want to use your 150 supply too fleetingly. Although he did stop some mining from Zeb, and with Zeb on 2 bases, 1 almost mined out, that's a pretty good thing.
Yep, Zealot's a strong unit.
He has seen the double factory from Zeb and has put down 2, or not factory, forges, sorry, and put down 2 forges of his own. So hopefully we're going to see some upgrades cronted out from him, and he'll be able to get back into this game, and if not, win it. Got another 3 gateways being thrown down by Duck, and a Templar archive. I don't know if you know this about Duck, but he loves his High Templar.
Yeah. As this pretty strange base from Zeb here, trying to take his 3rd. Now
That's
this
an
is
odd choice of a 3rd, though.
Yeah, I think he's thinking of like Antigua or something, where it's kind of better, but on this map it's so far from your actual natural that
Yeah.
I mean, in this base,
I mean, your 3rd's right there. It's in a nice little protected cove right there. It's got its own little ecosystem, effectively. I mean...
Oh, we have a...
Although, with the way this game's been progressing, no one's going to know about each other's 3rd till about the 40-minute mark, so we're all looking pretty good right now on bases.
I've got an observer following an observer. But he does notice his whole army's in the middle. That should make Zeb move his forces to the top of that ramp, hopefully.
Hopefully. All Duck's got to do is send a Zealot up into that base, and he'll be able to effectively crush Zeb's mining. This is a very risky play from Zeb here. The armies are moving out. Oh my god. And with a higher Colossal... Is it a higher Colossal? Let's check out this unit counting station. Quackpork has 1 more Colossi than Zeb. So, by the war of numbers, Duck's got this.
It's 1-1 versus 1-1 as well.
Zeb's number 2 attack, though, is coming right up. Although Quackpork is pushing out attack and armor, but will it be done before the next attack can start? That is the big question. On, I'm sure, everybody's mind. Quackpork taking a 4th of his own. And a DT shrine. Interesting choice with he's already got Templar archives. Not quite sure why he was going DTs as well. He's definitely scouted the observers. He had an observer following an observer before.
I think
so it'll be interesting to see what he does with that.
Just for the sake of placing it. And I'm not sure if you realise, but inside Zeb's army, there's one of Quackpork's observers, and Zeb doesn't know about that. There's a tiny
look at that, Duck pulling back.
Yeah, I don't know why he's pulling back.
Not opting for the engage. Look at that observer go, hiding inside the head of a Colossus. I mean, if you've got to be somewhere, you might as well be in the head of a Colossus. The 4th being scouted just as it finishes. Oh my god,
really
if Duck can pin the army inside this, will he just opt to pin for it, or is he going to run? This is not looking interesting. Quackpork has the high ground.
Zeb
does have the upgrade advantage for now. Quackpork following him with half the army.
Well,
he needs to pull back right away.
Quackpork, he's just got too many Colossus.
The war of numbers. This is like War of the Worlds right here. Thug snapping. Those Colossi are very hurt there from Zeb. I'm not sure if this is a smart move to be chasing down, as Speed Zealots will rip those Stalkers to shreds. Zeb still with no observer in his arm. Quackpork with DTs. This is going to be very painful for Zeb right now. Quackpork going right for it. That army is melting. He's pushing straight up into that 4th. Third from Zeb. If this 3rd goes down, Zeb is out of the game. GG from Zeb. Quackpork taking it 1-0 right now.
Absolutely.
I mean, that just leaves the show. If you leave Quackpork to go to a macro game, he's gonna come back and he's just gonna quack all over you. He's crazy. He'll shiv you, man. So the game starts. We have Quackpork spawning up in the top left. He's chilling in there, rocking out the color red. With Zeb spawning down here in the bottom right. Wonder if we're going to see a repeat of the last game. Early pressure falling back into a massive macro game. Or if one of them's just going to try to go for the throat early on.
Yeah, we will see. But I think we're going to see something with at least one gas play now. I doubt there'd just be any one gate expand or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, one gate expand's a pretty good way to get yourself killed in Protoss vs Protoss. Now I've noticed that Duck likes to opt for the scout straight after he puts down that first pylon. It is, in my opinion, a very, very fast scout. I mean, I personally prefer to scout after I put down my gateway, because you get that extra minerals to be able to put down a bit quicker. It feels more natural to me. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that is definitely.
So Quackpork is already in the base.
Because, yeah, go on.
I mean, especially against Protoss, because with Protoss, when you get to the base, they can't really wall off with, you know, 3 pylons right at the very start. Whereas a Terran can put down that barracks and 2 supply depots, but in Protoss vs Protoss, it's definitely, the early scout, I think, is more of a hindrance than a bonus.
Yeah, I mean, against certain players that you know, like, they like to do certain things, like proxy gate or something like cannon rush. Yeah, like, if you've got an inkling, sure, but it's not good for a standard build, because by the time you get there, it's like, just as the first gate's starting, and if you're gonna go there to spot the gas, you're gonna spot it 30 seconds later anyway.
Yeah, I mean, when you go into the base, all Duck's early scouting really got him was, he confirmed the suspicions of a pylon and a gateway that had just been placed. Personally, I think just waiting a little bit more, because that way you can get in there, you can see if he's going an early, like a gas that's a bit later. Because the early gas out, in my opinion, not the greatest scout to find. But
as a Zeb scout,
Duck seems to work with it.
Yeah, Zeb scout just finished. He got in at like 3 minutes 30 and saw everything, including the
Did
core
he
starting.
miss the cyber call? In Zeb's vision, he can't see the cyber call.
Let's just say he can assume. I don't think there's any crazy builds with one gate and gas and no core.
It could just be because I'm fairly paranoid, but when I go into somebody's base and I don't see a building, I freak out and I send probes everywhere. I suspect all the bad things. But that just could be Zerg fearing every Banshee ever.
Yeah, so, but another game with no expand. We have the 4 gates. Oh, hold on. 6 gates.
Zeb's 4. Oh. 6 gate Zeb. This is only 4, isn't it?
Oh,
that's
my bad.
Gates.
I was holding down shift to talk and I highlighted every gate on the map.
You can see Zeb here with 8 gateways at the 5.5 minute mark. Cutting all drone introduction.
Well, 4 gate.
There has been a strategy floating around from Quackpork though, which is a 6 gate play, where you go 6 gates and cut gas just so you can get the warp gate. It is very, very effective against Protoss and Zerg. So I was kind of wondering if we'd be seeing that tonight.
On one base.
Quackpork, you seeing what Quackpork's put down? Yeah, on one base. Quackpork's gone Dark Shrine. Quackpork might be going for this. Does Zeb have any means of detection? He does not. He's just going for a standard 4 gate. If Quackpork can hold this 4 gate timing, his DTs are going to rip Zeb to shreds with no detection.
Well, look at Zeb's SimCity. It's actually pretty impressive.
is. I mean, it's almost like a single-player campaign game. I've been playing quite a bit of that recently, and I can say that's almost how the Protoss set up their bases. All it's missing is a cannon in between all those gateways, protected by a large Abomination Zerg / Protoss hybrid. So we're about to see this push from Zeb here. It's going to be very interesting. Quackpork has a lot of zealots, and they tear stalkers to shred if they can actually get. Quackpork fooing. Knows the 4 gates here. If he could just do a warp in of DTs, he's got this anyway. We have a DT heading for the main. Zeb looking like he's kind of happy right now, thinking like he might have. Completely unaware of this DT walking into the base.
Well, this is going to be over. There's absolutely nothing for detection, nor will there ever be. So that's it for Zeb, unless he can rebuild the base.
This is GG. Well, all you need is a probe and a chair. I don't think these probes are going to rebuild though. Zeb with the RDTs, I think he knows it's over. He might be doing a last-ditch effort here, but with no detection, those DTs are just killing off. Money force field! Trapping the stalkers in there with the DTs and the zealot. It is GG here. Quackpork looks like he's going to be taking the games 2-0. Stalkers trying to kite the zealots and the invisible DTs.
Bunch of probes just sitting on the map. He does have 400 minerals.
Well, I do believe the probes are just discussing their options right now. 2 of them have some gas going, look guys, I really need to get to a doctor. I'm not sure how I'm going to go with this gas. We've got a GG here from Zeb. That is Quackpork taking games 2-0 here. That was exciting. I wasn't expecting that.